Hello everyone and welcome to this individual reflective presentation for the module Communication in Society. My name is Muhammad Abdul Munim Khan. My student ID S335133 and I am studying at the University of Suffolk. Today I will be presenting an analysis on a critical factor in clinical practice, analyzing the strengths and limitation of assertive communication in health and social care. Before we begin, I would like to note my formal declaration on screen, confirming that this presentation is entirely my own original work and that all external sources have been appropriately acknowledged and referenced use the Harvard referencing system. Then slide 2, table of contents. To give you an overview of how this presentation is structured, our journey today will cover 10 key areas. We will start with a brief introduction followed by the definition and the characteristics of assertive communication. Next, we will critically evaluate these unique strengths as well as its limitation and real-world challenge. For 3, we will look at how it applied to daily healthcare practice using specific scenarios. Then we will explore its impact on 2 core professional learning outcomes: person-centered care, which link to learning outcome 3, and teamwork and collaboration, which links to learning outcome 5. Finally, I will share my personal reflection, strategic recommendation, a definitive conclusion, and my academic references. As a guiding principle for these topics, effective communication builds trust, ensures safety, and delivers person-centered care. Then slide 3, what is assertive communication? Let us begin by establishing exactly what assertive communication means in a health and social care context. Assertiveness is defined as a communication style that allows
a professional to express their thoughts, clinical feelings, and immediate concerns clearly, directly, and confidently while maintaining absolute respect for the person they are speaking to. It acts as a preferred middle ground. It balances our own personal and professional confidence with an open respect for the rights, expertise, and dignity of others by encouraging open, transparent, and honest dialogue. Assertiveness breaks down right workplace hearings and form the essential backdrop of safe, effective care practice. Slide 4, the value of assertive practice. Why does assertive practice matter so much in our day-to-day work? First, it actively promotes a climate of natural trust between multidisciplinary staff, patient, and service users. Second, the fundamentally reduce communication misunderstandings when communication is clear and direct, ambiguity disappear, which directly prevent medical and diagnostic error. Most importantly, its servers are a primary pillar supporting patient safety and quality care. It prevents critical oversights, empowers frontline staff to advance firstly to patient needs, and constitutes and constructs shared respect with both our patient and our immediate community. Slide 5, challenges in healthcare communication with survey data. So to appreciate why assertiveness is mandatory, we must look at the real world too. Frustrations currently facing care environments. Data from the 2023 CIS survey reveals an alarming reality regarding communication gaps among healthcare professionals. Look at this data as a massive 57% of surveyed professionals report the delay in recovering vital information, such as missing patient record or settled handover is their absolute budget. Frustration following that 17% face technical issue that disrupt communication, while 9% explicitly highlight a loop of immediate incident response as a further ongoing safety risks. Additionally, 8% struggle with outdated technology and 6% point to explicit complaints with emerging directly from poor communication challenge. When information is delayed or system failed, PR human assertiveness is often the only safety net left to protect a patient. Slide 6. How assertiveness supports teamwork. NICE-ANG 216. Now let's explain how assertiveness supports teamwork and the collaboration fulfilling learning outcome 5 of our module. These align directly with NICE guideline ANG 216, which explicitly mandates that professionals should communicate respectfully and support collaborative practice. Assertiveness achieves this through three key measures. First, it ensures effective information sharing facility and clear exchanging in information and create much better handover between staff. Second, it fosters respectful collaboration by encouraging open professional discussion and reducing toxic workplace conflict. And third, it is directly lead to improved patient outcomes through better coordination among professionals and a much safer delivery of care. The next slide, 7. Supporting person-centered care, NICE CG138. Next, let's look at how the assertiveness drives person-centered care, which fulfills learning outcome 3 and aligns with NICE guidelines CG138. NICE CG138 states very clearly that patients should be actively involved in the decision regarding their care. Assertive communication acts as a indispensable tool to meet this guideline because the encouraging shared discussion making and help patient voice their unique needs. Peers and professionals clearly reaching supporting patient rights and improve our holistic understanding of the individual person's circumstance. Why does this matter? Because it is expectedly promote human dignity. This teaching improves the patient satisfaction matters and thus enhance the overall quality of care. Next slide, 8. Example and patient safety. To see how to the operative on the clinical of the frontline looks like the example.
Which the focus of patient safety. Imagine a fast-paced hospital where the nurse noticed a medication disease erode the written and the chart by a senior doctor. Instead of the system silent out of the fear of conflict, our HSC and the nurse used the assertive communication to the immediately inform the doctor of the issue clearly, calmly and directly because the concern is raised professionally. The doctor listened, reviewed the script and the error of corrected quickly. As a direct result, the patient is fully protected from the potential clinical harm. This proves that assertiveness is a vital safety mechanism. Slide 9. Example 2. Safeguarding. Now let's look at example 2, which highlights the safeguarding, which is a social care practice. Imagine a social worker who uncover clear evidence of the possible neglect regarding as the vulnerable service user, despite of the facing the significant pressure, jobs and the discrimination from other who want to avoid the work is the complete the social work remains the assertive. The final state, the must raise formal concern about possible neglect regarding this case because the communication they are concerned unambiguously and the appropriate investigation takes place immediately. The barriers are broken down and the vulnerable person receive the vital protection they deserve. Slide 10. Reflection, recommendation and the conclusion. Reflection deeply is the presentation and our module. It has heavily increased my own understanding of the fundamental impacts of the communication of the healthcare. Assertiveness is not just a soft skill, it is an absolute professional necessity. Based on my research, purpose of our core recommendation for care providers. Firstly, we must provide routine dedicated assertiveness trainings for all healthcare staff. Second, we must actively encourage the reflective practice among team. Third, we should develop targeted communication workplace. And the fourth, we must work to promote supportive workplace and cultural where the speaking up to is coveted. In conclusion, assertive communication is this currently increase professional safety, trust, and the teamwork and the perfectly support person in concert care. However, we must always remember that it cannot exist in a vacuum. It must always be balanced dynamically with the empathy, rich culture, awareness, and the committed active listening. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much.